You're looking good.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, hello guys. Good morning and good evening in America. Meeting Eric Kwekubi, a branch here. Today we're going to have a chat with a friend based in America, United States of America, and he's going to show us the pathway and also tell us how he made it from West Africa straight away to America. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah. Good evening, Waha.
Yeah, good evening in America. So that's how the world is. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's start by you telling us where you come from, your name and where you come from.
Okay. So, what language are you going to use? Are you using Tree or Chinglish?
Yes, let's make it Chinglish. Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, you know the deal. It's Chinglish. Yeah.
Okay. So the name is Yaobuachi Abri, and I'm a Ghanaian and Ashanti who once lived in Kumasi. I grew up from Asafo. I think if you've lived in Kumasi before, there are some areas that when you say you live there, people actually know you that you be guy. So Asafo, Krofrum, Dichemso, Bantama.
Uye otu for na.
Tell me kafa ho me best me can ba me kafa ho no. So I'm an Asafo boy. I've lived in Asafo since I think 1993. Before I moved out to live around Ejus area. So that's for my the place of my stay in Kumasi. So I also schooled in Kumasi Academy from 2003 to 2006. I think we were the first batch that took the WASI. So I'm that young. Yeah, and I proceeded into Ken UST to read painting and sculpture. So I'm an artist, and aside being the artist, I also became a fashion designer. I'm a self-taught menswear tailor, and I got into GE as the Ghana Education Service in 2013, and I've been teaching since then. So I got the opportunity to fly over to the States on this exchange program. So I've been teaching for
So yeah,
almost 10 years. Uh-huh.
what exactly were you teaching in the Ghana Education Service, and which
Okay,
school were
so
you?
I was teaching visual arts, and I taught at Antwa Senior High. Maybe a good piano, as I done piano. So uh, no one actually joked with me because exactly when you mention I teach at Antwa Senior High, everybody goes back and say, "Oh," so that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, if you were, I mean, working in the prestigious Ghana Education Service with all that teaching allowance and everything going well, I mean, why will you just all of a sudden quit your job and then go to America?
Okay, so this up to now, I haven't actually decoded the reason why I moved out of Ghana, but I'm still trying to find out the reason why. So I'm very religious, and as a teacher in Ghana, I think teaching in Ghana is quite more relaxed as compared to teaching in the United States. So I was able to juggle between jobs. I had a menswear brand in Ghana, and I also co-founded a shoemaking brand. IFOK is a very renowned shoe company in Ghana now, and alongside the teaching, I did about 2 or 3 jobs. So it was quite okay. But sometimes you look into your bank account, though you are an entrepreneur in addition to the teaching job, but you still have nothing to show for. So actually, for me personally, that didn't move me. I looked in my bank account. I didn't have like 20,000 sitting in my account as I
After
can do
being a
stuff.
teacher, being a co-founder of a shoe
Yeah.
factory, you
Mm-hmm.
never had twenty
Uh-huh.
thousand
So
Ghana cedis in your account.
the reason is, as an entrepreneur, you always want to reinvest your incomes or your profit into the business. So I was setting up a fashion school, an art school in Ghana. So all my money were just being pumped back into the business. So I didn't have that money. That was one of the motivation. And again, I'm very religious. So a prophet of mine prophesied that I'll be moving out of this country. And personally, Aborigine am like, I mean, many Aborigine. So when he said that, I said, Master Obwa. So I have a chat with my wife, and my wife was just telling me, "Oh dear, yeah, sure, just put in the application and let's see." So I'm the type who love to research about things. I won't allow you to do that. I always want to sit down and do the research. So it started with Canada. A, a friend came with an idea, so Canada school, so we have to apply to some schools and all that, get some scholarship. So I was reading a lot about Canada. So what made sense is here, I can just give you an overview of the Canadian government website. ICCI for meet me actually because I was always on it. So I was always researching on that. Research here I'm obi video YouTube. This Kenyan woman. Like I said, you can go to the US and teach on a sponsorship program. I'm so wow. So that's where it started. So I read and read and read about it. I updated my wife that this is that just so far teaching BYU say, and I think from the things they are requiring, I think I have everything. But I wasn't so happy with it because I'm reaching MLI and I've invested so much in my business. Maybe I think that maybe free Ghana Rambo maybe check it now. I'd spend like 80,000 in my company because it was still a startup. My infrastructure, my classroom, my BB, and I'm always running my business as well. Because now dreaming answer, I want to open up a big art school, not fashion school, a big art school. So that was the plan. And I told my wife, I'm still not interested. And she, should I say, she motivated me or encouraged me? Okay, she motivated me and said, the many applications on that, the many money. So I did it. First one, but we're from Faces. Faces catch them and say, me manage to because childcare in the US is quite expensive, so they can't place me anywhere. And the other company, and so it was very forthcoming. For Abraham the call, for Abraham the call. Now it got to a stage that they requested for a bank statement of $2,000 in their account. Ghana teacher them go find him,
A bank statement of $2,000 in your account,
which is not money. And yes, $2,000.
$2,000. Okay, that's around 200 million, right?
So time 200 million. Very good.
Okay.
Let them go find him. So actually, I told myself I'm not going to do any forgery thing. So said the prophet the cast. So I printed my salary bank account. It's kind of 155 cities, and I turned in the bank statement to the agency. So I think one evening I was driving, and I'm sending me mail. We are sorry, we have to put you on hold. Reason behind I'm say I was really, really worried because me in
And Lucida.
defeated that and Lucida. There's papa. They say when I what them work I'm
So, but then no, you came to realize that no, I don't know. You need a kind of capital to do it.
And it's quite reasonable. I'll explain it in the process. I mean, they do where we are. I'll explain that why you need an amount to, show up for agencies before they proceed with your application. Nti when we go if you grammar when I'm wife pro me aja ko denye hwe. Ti ma sign application bi so IAG. So I did IAG I think in November. It's one of the agencies that I'm me by.
Okay.
And IAG process now or say years MCB. So when the exams came, I remember that day I was cutting some I think I will be trousers.
Okay.
And I link in the by maybe a questions now I already a bit master menya. So I close it a portal on a mijay. But a month later, Mohana on that send me say, I have an interview. And I'm saying, Nanyanko point, they are some Kurampunia. And I'm them quay interview no. Interview here almost my pass it. After now, as a requirement back would be almost mean send this self-made video of me teaching some man sending uncle. So there have been two stages. I wasn't me fulfill but I skipped it because men say Aboriginal baby.
Okay.
So man,
you try and add a bit of English because you are doing English. So
okay. So two stages came from the sponsors. One was I think a short exams for I think it was like aptitude test, yeah, for teachers. So I skipped that one because I decided not to travel anymore because I've invested so much of my money in the company, which I can't forfeit it losing. And the second one was I was supposed to upload a self-made video of me teaching, and I intentionally did not upload that as well because I said I'm no more traveling to the states.
Because you were
So
fed up.
I fed up. So these two steps was a major criteria or a requirement, but I skipped it. So I was there again. Then they sent me that I've qualified for the next stage, so I should arrange an interview with a school's principal. And I was really, really surprised. So it's God telling me something. And I had prayed about this thing. I've been praying and praying. God, let me feel the answer. Let me see the answer in my dream or something. So up to now, I haven't heard anything from God, but I'm here now. And the process went through smoothly. So if you ask me why would I leave my job, why would I leave GES? GES one, I wouldn't want to condemn GES right now because I've learned my lessons. I heard people saying Ghana education is not good and all that, but as we are talking now, I would defend Ghana Education Service right now, even though there are some downfalls that they have, but I'll always vouch for Ghana Education Service. The
Why will you vouch for Ghana Education Service? Why? Because you didn't have 20,000 in your bank account, or why?
okay. Mhm. So in terms of monetary aspects, I think they have the downside on that. The salary is too meager, it's too small. That is one. But I'm talking in terms of the quality of education, the quality of products that we have in Ghana. If you compare my students here in the US and you compare the students
In
in
America.
Ghana, yeah, the students are not motivated to learn at all. The classroom discipline, you can tell yourself that, oh, I'm a good teacher and all that. I can tell you that when you get to the American classroom, the content wouldn't be even halfway of the class. Classroom management will be 60%, and the content will be just 40% because the students are not motivated to learn. Everything is free. Some of them do not know how to write. They always want to stay on a laptop and be typing. So I'm talking in terms of if you want to compare Ghana Education Service and the US Education Service for the quality of kids that we have, comparatively, I think I'll vouch for Ghana Education Service. But for incentives and monetary aspect, oh, US
It will go
is
to
here. And
America.
yeah,
So
I'll go to
that
America.
you want to say that in Ghana there is discipline. And by the way, I was also a teacher in Ghana. I was also a
Hmm.
teacher
Hmm.
in Takrady Senior High School. So you say that the discipline that Ghana Education has been able to instill in
Yeah,
students in Ghana is far better than America, right?
far better, far better. Yeah, yeah, because the, I remember my first day in the US classroom. I almost packed my stuff to move out of the country and go back to Ghana.
Why?
Hmm. I'm teaching, I think, middle school. Yeah, I'm teaching middle school here in the US, and what the kids did to me,
I'm afraid one
and
year
that
day, one year day, Kinglish.
I was teaching that day, and one of them just got up and started twerking in the class. Sit down, stop that, sit down. They won't mind you. Anything that, and if you're not careful, any utterance that you make, certain utterances do not seem to be insulting, but it means insult here. So,
Utterances like,
damn, I didn't know that damn was very insulting. Damn, I never knew that. Shut up. I never knew that. If you mistakenly tell a child that, hey, shut up, you are dead.
because I think I still use it here. Hey, will you shut
Okay.
up? It's
So
insulting.
I did it once, and my principal told me not to use that on
Really?
them. Yeah.
Damn.
Damn.
Damn, nigga, what are you doing?
So this is what happened. In my eighth graders class, one of the kids just lifted their legs and put it on the table. And I said, my friend, put your damn leg down. And he said, ooh, you're going to get fired. And the whole
The,
class was just laughing at me.
the student told you that?
Simple cry, simple cry, simple cry. They told me I'm going to be fired for that and all that. So I did another mistake after that. The next day, I went in and I apologized that I didn't mean to insult, and I worsened my case. A friend told me I should have never ever revisit that issue because they would never remember it. And I mistakenly went in there and apologized to them that I didn't mean to say that them is not insulting my country and all that. Instead, they went haywire and it
The
was something else. So
students,
a
grade eight,
student, eighth
grade
grade,
eight.
JSS3, JSS3, Papa Penalty Semi. And oh, they were all over me. The first week, my brother, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. So GES, actually, I didn't want to leave because I had businesses, but I left because I wanted to change location, and I left
And fulfill a
because
prophecy of your
and
pastor.
fulfill a prophecy. Very good. When I made the also and fulfill a prophecy, and God hasn't disappointed me. I mean, I've seen a difference though. Yeah,
So now you. So what subject do you teach in America?
I teach visual art.
Oh, okay,
Hmm.
okay. Now, what is the difference? I want us to do the difference between teaching in Ghana and teaching in America, and what is so special in America?
Okay, so the uniqueness of the U.S. education system is TLMs, the teaching and learning materials. If you come to my class right now and you look at the kind of equipment and materials that are found in my class as an art teacher, and the number of funding that you get, because the Western world never joke with art. Maybe over Ghana in my visual art studio, it was horrible, very very horrible. And there be my headmistress says, "Sikeni, if you want to buy anything, it comes from your
Second,
packet. Sikeni, it comes from your own packet." So that was it. But here, you'll be getting funding $2,000, $5,000. Money will be coming because they are in love with the art, the visual art. There, you bring your cash, funding, book of field trip, and all that. So they are not joking with education here. They are not joking. So the major difference now is TLMs. But for quality of students there, I think that I would say Ghana, because of discipline, Ghana is good.
you keep mentioning, I mean, quality. Like, what do you say quality? How do you explain quality?
Okay, so I mean quality in the terms of students' preparedness and motivation that they have in the classroom because of discipline. And in Ghana, I had one visual art for we had bad boys in my class. I had students who were armed robbers, but I could just pull up a cane if they misbehave. I pull up a cane and discipline them, and they would never ever utter an insulting word to me.
Word. Yeah.
Or on your mistake that we after we play and you teach them and they take it. So the kids are disciplined even from the house and coming to school. But here, hmm, so I can't say much about what I'm seeing here, and it's everywhere. I've called most of my friends. Ubu of Florida, I spoke to him, and he said it's the same over there. Discipline is a problem. I called someone in Wisconsin. Discipline is a problem. Illinois, discipline is a problem. So it's all over America. I don't know what is happening with their generation. I actually don't know what is happening with that generation, and it is the reason why people are leaving the teaching job here in the U.S. The citizenry do not like the work so much. The stress is too much. The moral behavior of the kids is also too much. So I just say Yahoo where you strangers can only do this job because of the monetary incentives in it. That's it. So quality and the making it's hands on the discipline part.
Okay.
The discipline because if a child will excel, it is premised on discipline
Exactly.
and eccentric motivation. So that's it.
Okay. So now you made mention that, I mean, life has been very good in heaven, right? So what is the signature? What shows that now things are good?
Uh, should I say it's even good? Okay, it's quite okay as compared to Ghana. So as I told you, I had businesses I was juggling in between in Ghana. So if you should ask me, you need 10,000 Ghana cedis in a week. it was going to be a problem because I was a businessman and time I'm sick and a man. So you'd have to give me like 2 weeks before I can mobilize some funds for you. But I quite remember one day when I was asleep and my wife called me from Ghana. Within a week, Anopana, we are say, we are say, we are say. And when I sent just $500 that morning, was able to solve all those problems. I said, wow. So that was the main career crap, but that was the time that I would say that teaching in US was quite beneficial.
What
Apart
was
from
your what was your worst moment teaching in Ghana?
I don't think I have any because maybe a businessman, maybe me to I was teaching in SS, so I could teach, let's say, 3 to 4 hours a day, which area you can go to the house and work. So it was good. Me, I don't have a time in Ghana where I would say I had a rough day at school. Mm.
So currently, if you are given, I mean, a huge amount to come back and teach in the Ghana Education Service, are you going to accept that offer and leave America?
That's a tough question.
If you are given now, if teachers in Ghana are being paid 20,000 Ghana cedis plus housing and accommodation, will you come back to Ghana?
Why not?
They want you to be the head of the art department in your school.
For me, I don't want the leadership part, right? Because the duty is so much. Let me be at the lower level so that I can teach, go back to my work, teach and go back to my work. That part in quite okay. In American until if they are going to give me that amount to stay in Ghana and teach, I think I'll go in for that.
Then in that
Because
case, what would be your word to your colleagues? Because it looks like everybody wants to leave the service now. What's your word to them?
I also will be able to TV. I think there has been some kind of aura in Ghana at the moment that everybody thinks Ghana is really, really at the verge of destroying. That is the question. Obi has Ghana say. But I can tell you that when I was in Ghana, if I should put an ad on Instagram, say on a Monday, if I should put an ad that I'm running a promo for one of my shirts, one of my products, if we do Friday, the number of people who are going to pay, Obi Jinan and them, someone can pay 1,000 Ghana cedis for shirts. Someone can pay 2,000 Ghana cedis for shirts, about 10 shirts. So people are really making it in Ghana. So it's just that there is some kind of aura in Ghana that everybody thinks the country is failing. To some extent, I think it is true because I had my fair share of that. I will talk about that also as well. So as a being say, so we all want to run away, and is there aborigines? So they are like people are traveling, especially the UK. People are really really traveling. So
Yeah.
I bet idea everybody want to travel. So
Ebinom kura pese wo kun wo use abrochi filter. Me wa abrochi
yeah
eh.
yeah yeah
Wa
yeah
abrochi
yeah.
eh.
So it's half an hour, but ube testify. I have a friend here, right here in this house. I was say Yamakwaya, he's going back to his country. I have a friend right here who has decided not to teach again because the hassle is too much. The stress is killing him. This place is for the tough. If you're not hard skinned, you cannot teach here.
What is the stress? What stress are you talking about?
So can you imagine that your principal could be standing right beside you and she has any information for you, she won't alter to you, but rather go to her office and send you an email. So it is possible you can have about 10 to 15 emails by the close of the day. You're supposed to respond to each of them. You're not supposed to miss any of that.
Whilst
Any of
teaching,
that.
or you have time to.
Some will come whilst you're teaching, others you'd have to close and revisit it and respond and all that. So that is one. And two, aha, you said that lackadaisical attitude of Ghanaians that when you are in teaching in Ghana, you can't joke with the job here. You are going to work for the money you are being paid for. So if you been staying in Ghana for all that rosy period and you come here, it's going to be hell for you. It's going to be hell because the job is very demanding.
What is the lackadaisical attitude in Ghana which is not tolerated in the USA?
Not preparing lesson plans. We don't call lesson notes. I didn't prepare lesson notes in Ghana
I
because
didn't too. Do you prepare it in America?
yes, we call lesson plan, but it is that simple, very very simple. It's just talking about the modern day lesson plan. If you're going to use 10 minutes for your the explanation of your objective, the learning intentions and all that, it's very big. It's very simple. It's just about how you're going to demarcate the time for each content in your lesson. That's the type. And yet, the quota which are useless things. I never prepared lesson notes in Ghana, but my students were always passing. So I was asking one of my teachers, what is the bearing of the preparation of lesson notes and the success of my kids? Because I taught about 7 years in Antwerp, and progressively, without the lesson notes, my students were passing. So what is the bearing? It has no linkage. But
The lesson plan prepares you to go into the class and know what to do exactly on time and
simple.
then on each particular day. I also had so many issues with my headmaster with regards to lesson plan. But you are telling me America to prepare lesson plan. How is that different? Like how?
So
You
for
write to
here,
right?
you will sit down and prepare the lesson plan. Latest by Sunday 11:59, you should forward it into the Teams page for your principal to see that you have uploaded it. It is that I mean, but I'm doing it. Me and Ghana, I wasn't, but you will do it here. You can't joke with it. You will do it. Obi answer,
For the
but you will
whole
do
week.
it.
You prepare the whole week or just
The whole
one?
so if I do it on Sunday, it covers me through the whole week. It's that simple. So Monday, this is going to be the learning intentions. This is going to be the success criteria and all that activities. Then it's that simple. Very, very, but because I love this one as compared to the Anamian in Ghana. Ghana, there you have now quite you go into the syllables, content, blah blah blah, and many things were chaff. But here, if you prepare it, you are even going to take time to even find some nice activities for the kids because if you lose them, my principal will always say, work the kids before they work you. So
Okay.
always have an activity for them. Always have an activity. So I have this color sheet of superheroes in my class right now. If you are done with this activity, my friend, come for this one. So if you keep them busy, you are
Busy.
safe. They would never worry you. So you should always have activities for them. So preparing the lesson or planning the lesson really helps you here because it is going to guide you how you're going to manage that small time that you're giving you. But in Ghana, certain things were bureaucracy, it was over the top. Bureaucracy.
Looks like Mentias you. Also Ghana now own your lesson plan. How yes. So what is the difference between Ghana lesson plan and the lesson plan in America? Like, what is so different?
Okay. The internet Ghana the end said Ghana the no the was like copying what's in your syllabus
Yeah,
into the notebook. And it got to a time, I think right now they are told to find some internet resources and print in Ghana. But some CS are saying they don't want the printed version,
yeah. My
which
my,
in
my, my
quotes,
headmaster even told me if you want to send him an email of the lesson plan, you have to write two for him. He
it's
wanted
likely.
to have it backed up every day by
Hmm.
writing.
And that was the problem. If it comes that way, now you don't see the essence of the lesson plan. But it is really, really helpful. Really, while my own strategizing and say, okay, tomorrow this is what I'm going to do. I have to. It was
And
first in
Ghana
history.
lesson plan and America lesson plan. What is the difference?
The difference is this one is very simplified.
Okay, the American one is simplified.
Yeah, it is. It is simplified, and with me, yeah, no, is me say it's going to save you through the whole week. But the problem is, it do Friday is one of so because also prepare for the next week. You always have to have an activity for them. Always have to have an activity. You're going to stay with them from Monday to Friday. So these same phases always have an activity for them. So it has been really, really quite an interesting trip with the kids. They also need to do
Okay,
more.
okay. And you also mentioned that people are saying Ghana is worse. You've also had your fair share. What is your fair share that you've had with Ghana being bad?
I thought you would forget about that. Okay,
I
so
don't forget easily.
about this, when I started my art school, I didn't want to be caught off guard. Say, uh, there's going to be a government contract that you're supposed to produce some apparels for a company or that. Now withdraw or tax clearance, you don't have a tax certificate, you have not been paying tax and all that. So I worked into GRA in Kumasi. If you stayed in Kumasi before, I think owner service area or the main office. So I went there as a good citizen of Ghana to go there and open a tax file for my company. So I do not do business without permit and all that. So but they'll come and lock up your place because you're not paying tax. And there have been instances that there are certain opportunities that the government will bring. If you do not pay tax, you can't benefit from. So I wanted to be proactive on that. I went to the office. I went there to find some young guys who were civil servants who are supposed to help us open a thing for us. And they told me that since the day I registered the company, I should have come to them, and I did not come. And this thing, I never knew about that. So the business certificate has stayed for, I think, a year and 6 months. That was 18 months. And I had not been to the GRA office to open for a certificate because the business was not running. I had wanted to establish the systems and structures before I do all the documentation in regards of the taxing. So I went there and they told me that, okay, since I had not come to them, I should bring some money. And in front of me, I should bring some money. He'll give this guy this amount, he'll give that amount. So after they opened the file for me, so that, and like I was like seriously. So that was the time I said, "Oh, Omina say."
Manasseh, you were
I said,
amazed, flabbergasted.
I flabbergasted. Omana say, like menim kamamim kompu, menim wa uti upeka kraba. You give this amount to this person and all that, and they will open the file for me. Me coming to you to pay for taxes, to file for when I was I can. So I came home and I never went to them. I was doing my business as usual, and you BNC because they're not coming around to lock up my place
Check.
and all that. And people were just insulting me and said, mistake crown me, and I shouldn't have gone to them because now I've given them information, say I'm doing this kind of business in this area, so they can just get up and come to my place and lock it up. But may you walk on in the year pepe and I'm the buy, so
Wow.
nothing of
Wow.
that sort happened.
Wow. I see. Now, can you clarify this perception and this myth for us? Yes, see America, they heaven. Yes, it's a young crowd, you be a one body and come home. America, you heaven, and that portrayal on the other. America to say,
Chairman,
with all honesty.
Chairman, maybe I wanted to wait for a while before engaging in interviews because Okoka said America had heavy and the go foot me do a temo war social media me who be an it is not heaven. It is not heaven. Me come me first day me see New York. Me buy US now. My South Carolina directly. I have some family in New York, so they came to pick me up at JFK. When I hope na a former baby what to now and you. When the baby what to say a crack kakra mo so after number fix use the same. And the enemy felt crew now say masa. In New York rather I say in good baby like rubbish. A whole of letters are spread across the neighborhoods. It was very, very terrible. And is this the America that everybody was talking about? Like this is heaven and all that. But when they took me to Manhattan, the metro city of New York, oh, it might be closer to heaven, but it is not heaven. The place is really beautiful.
Manhattan.
The place is really, really, really beautiful. So yes, it is beautiful, but it is not heaven. They have their own downfalls. And the reason why they are saying is that I think America was formed many years ago, but Ghana is that young. So we can comparatively say that Ghana is hell and US is heaven. They have their own downfalls and so it is not heaven. They have that make they kind of be right.
Okay, what advice do you have for any teacher who is currently planning to travel to America?
I would advise everybody to come and have a taste of it because this program is a free program and you do not pay so much money to a connection man or an agent to come over to the States and teach. So at least for the sake of your resume, come and have a fair taste of international teaching in the US. Just come and have a taste.
So,
And
how
if
many
you,
years do you have to? So you said you didn't pay anything to any. You did everything by your
oh,
own.
bruh, capre. So if the other time I tried making a total calculation of the amount of money I spent in this whole trip, and I think it got to 10,000 Ghana cedis, which is almost $1,000. 10,000. You do your credential evaluation. I will explain that when you go to that side. Credential
Yeah.
evaluation, my visa fee payment, going to Accra back and forth, and some other things. So 10,000 covered everything, and
Oh,
you are coming on a sponsorship. Some of
I,
the
I I heard
agencies,
even your flight is even catered for.
yeah, I think two of the agencies pay for your flight. They subsidize it. I should put it that way. They pay like $750 for you, so that if it is more than $750, you pay the difference. So it's a free sponsorship. And up till now, many people are doubting that it is not true. Wrote a comment, I think, on TikTok. How can a Ghanaian teacher teach in the US? They don't believe it. Even my family
Yeah.
members never believed it. My family members here in the US, they were there and yawabo, yawabo. Like I went, they were surprised. How? There are information on the internet. It's if you do know how to fish for it, that's the problem. But some of us, if we hear I would want to know the source of that and and take advantage of it. There are a lot of opportunities that people can use to come to the US. If you are from 18 to 26, I will share some information about Bridge USA, the website. There are opportunities over there. You're not going to pay so much money. A lot of opportunities. So that's the reason why I opened my YouTube channel to let people know that you can do it yourself. You can do it
So
yourself.
then give us your YouTube and your TikTok handle so I come to my last question and we end for this session.
Okay, so the YouTube is Yaw Abrey, YAWABBREY, and the TikTok the same thing. It's actually for my brand name. All my clothes are called Yaw Abrey and all that. So go to TikTok is Yaw Abrey, YouTube Yaw Abrey, Instagram Yaw Abrey, Facebook Yaw Abrey. It's all over every place. That's the
Okay.
handle.
So with the exchange program, I understand after some year you have to go back to Ghana. How long is that?
Okay, so I'm going to explain the whole thing in a nutshell. So this is how it is. So the program is called the Cultural Exchange Program, and basically it means that you come to exchange your culture with the U.S. government or the U.S. country. So you're supposed to come and stay here in 3 to 5 years, and after the 3 to 5 years, you're supposed to return to your home country. Officially, that's how it is. But there is always an exception to every rule. Believe you know that.
Mm.
So if after the 3 to 5 years your services are really commendable in your school, you might be advised to go for a J1 waiver. The visa category that we have here is J1 visa category. So after the J1 visa, you might be advised to, talk to your home embassy for a waiver. And if your home country uh, approves that they actually don't need your service so much in the country and your absence wouldn't cause any misfortunes there or mishappening there, then they give you the nod. Then they give you a different type of visa that will help you to stay in the country for more than 6 years. And after the 6 years, you can even get a green card.
Who gives the waiver? Is it the Ghana Education Service or
No, Ghana Embassy. Ghana Embassy. So
that
you
that,
put in
that
an
your
application.
absence in Ghana will not cause any problem?
Any problem, yeah.
Oh, but your absence will not call. You are just one out of a million out there.
Okay, so they call it that. I think the immigration lawyers call it the no objection rule. The no objection means when you are not in Ghana, it doesn't cause any problem. So you can stay wherever you are and work. I know about three Ghanaians who applied and they got it. They are right here with H1B, and they will further into a green card gradually, I think. So back to the whole program. So I've explained the cultural exchange program. So it's just coming over for 3 to 5 years. You teach here and you learn the culture here. You also exchange with them what you have in you. So that is a side of story. And you're going to be paid like a normal US citizen who is teaching. The same salary, no difference.
What is the range of the salary?
Okay, so the median salary or the average salary is 40,000 upwards. And
$40,000.
yeah, $40,000 upwards. It's annually. It will be a hand and say every year for 40,000. It's annually. So you're going to spread it over the 12 months. And the kind of visa that we have, they don't take so much taxes from us. We pay almost I think we pay FICA and the state taxes and all that, some few amount. I don't hide my salary. So uh, at the moment, infants I take like 3,000, a little over 3,000. So they spread it in 2 weeks. Into 2 weeks, you take half of
No
it.
RGB.
No, it's not all over the state. District in Boha, they pay you bi-weekly. So my district pay is bi-weekly. So 1,005 to 1,008 for baby. So that's my can with my yard. The salary to get.
Why? Until it gets to $3,000.
Japan say be $3,000 be sir. And yet and so there are states they get something below that, but be sir. And the teacher you know it is a Ghana and it to be the oti room high. This kind of high, like if you spend the money here, is that small? But if you cross the border, oh, as a you be bugger. So that's it. So that's the salary, and there are certain incentives, sign-on bonus. When you are employed, I think the first year you'll be given like $2,000 in our district. Why you didn't opt for any other district, but you decided to work with that, so we are given $2,000, and also they are paid in tranches. So that is it. And there are other incentives that could come your way and all that. So it's quite fair.
And so, apart from teaching, do you have time to do other stuff like you used to do in Ghana?
Bruh, it's not easy. Like I go to work 8 o'clock, I come back to the house about 4:30. And 4:30, no, but no, I from like you are exhausted. So probably around 8 thereabout, I do some applications for some people and all that. It's not constant. I have my sewing machine and everything that I need for my sewing business here. But when was the last time I sat before my sewing machine to sew? It's not that easy. So it's only weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday, it's not easy for me. So that is it. As we were saying, the stress and all that. It's for the hard skinned. Only tough skin that you can't teach here. But there are other jobs you can take if you think you are that strong for that. You can do Uber, you can do Lyft, you can do DoorDash. So if you have a car, you can just go around and do other side hustle. So all those things can bring you some income.
Okay, thank you so much, Yao. So, for my viewers, what I'm going to do next is that he's going to take us through the process, who qualifies, how to file the application, and that is going to be in the next video. So, I'm going to make another live. I'm going to end this, but join me in the next live so that we can take us through the process and how to do it. Yeah, thanks so much for being a blessing to us and to Ghana. And for Ghana, we wouldn't need you now. Let's say after 10 years' time, you come and be the parliamentary candidate for Antwa. Yeah.
Oh, oh,
the 10 years. Oh, but that's over them. Why?
Mate. So when are we gonna have the second video? Is it?
Oh, right now.
Okay. So
right now, yes. I'm just going to end this and then we'll do the second video. Just right now. I'm gonna. Yeah. Goodbye for this one.
Okay.